This video covers the IGCSE Biology Objective 9.3.4 on the 2025 CAIE syllabus to explain how the structure of arteries and veins is related to blood pressure. So first of all, let's remind ourselves of each of these vessel structures. Here we're looking at microscope slides of each one, and you can definitely see there are some physical differences between these two structures. So both of them have this external membrane, which is elastic. They both have muscle tissue, which is elastic. They both have lumen, which is the opening, and they both have endothelium. Now, some of the differences here is that veins have valves. The lumen size between the artery and the vein is different. In the artery, it's much smaller. In the vein, it's much bigger. The amount of muscle tissue is also going to be different, where in an artery, it's much thicker, and in the vein, it's much thinner. So those are some of the differences that we would see between arteries and veins. So now let's take a look at the idea of blood pressure in each of these structures. So arteries are going to carry blood at high pressure from the heart to the body. So remember, the heart is pumping very strongly. Remember that the muscle tissue of the ventricle is very thick, and so it's going to come out at a very high pressure anyway. And so the structure of the artery is going to allow for the blood vessel itself to withstand that high pressure, and so that way it keeps the blood vessel from bursting. So we have these thick elastic walls that are going to withstand the high pressure, and we have this narrow lumen that is going to maintain the high pressure. Remember, the blood has to reach various areas of the body, including the head and the feet, and so it has a long distance to go. It has vital organs that need to get those nutrients as quickly as possible, and so that maintaining that high pressure is going to be very important. And so that's where the size of the lumen comes in. Then we have veins and blood pressure. So typically veins carry blood at low pressure from the body tissue to the heart. So now the blood has reached these vital organs or body tissue, and the exchange of nutrients with waste has taken place. So think about something like the feet. By the time the blood gets there, it's traveled through the capillary tissues, which have to be at lower pressure, and so now the blood has lost its pressure. So the blood now has to get back up to the heart. And so a few things happen here. The walls now can be thin due to the lack of pressure. We're not going to worry that the blood vessels are going to burst because the pressure is so low. We have a wide lumen that's going to maximize blood flow. So a lot more blood can flow through a particular portion of the tube at any given time. And then there are valves that are going to prevent backflow. So as you are moving your body, the muscles around these veins are going to be pushing on the blood vessels, on the veins, and that is going to open the valves, push blood up, and then the valves will close, and that now is going to prevent backflow. So this is how we compare arteries and veins and blood pressure and their structure, and how the structure is adapted for the type of pressure that is in that particular vessel.